Yeah, so my name's Dean Picken. I'm Director of Designers by Nature, a company that's been around about 25 years. We're a small company in Warrnambool and we have a team of 5. You do have to be a jack of all trades when you're working in a smaller office because you have to put on multiple hats a lot of the time. And I think that's really exciting if you're someone that's driven by challenges without throwing people into the water without knowing how they're going to swim. We cross across everything from small sort of renovations through to large commercial projects at the moment. That's sort of as grand as a $13 million resort and down to the sort of $150,000 reno. So it's a pretty broad market. The philosophy we have around attracting work, I guess, is the main issue for us, is that we made a decision about 10 years ago to move from what we were predominantly doing was more drafting type work. As we developed our own design style, we were trying to attract the more complex sites. That in return sort of gave us a slight competitive edge. And I guess that's really what I'm driven by, is more complex sites, whether it's through the topography, whether it's through the client's brief, or whether it's through the planning process or whatever that might be. If it was just a cookie cutter mentality, I think I would have pulled the pin a while ago and found another career path. We could definitely define our design style in wanting to use local materials wherever possible, looking for the highest performance building. So I'm really driven by high performance 8-star plus type buildings. I'm driven by timber and natural products, so timber stone in the Port Fairy area where we're sitting today. I would use a lot of bluestone because basalt's everywhere around this part of the world. Timber plays a massive role in what we do. It's a signature of ours, with a lot of other designers and architects out there, no doubt. Timber for us ticks all the boxes because we're in a coastal environment a high percentage of the time, so I can be using something like a spotted gum or a grey or red ironbark or some sort of forest managed timber. And I know it's going to have a 40-year plus durability. We generally benchmark at 50 years so that we can tell our clients, look, if it starts getting a bit hungry, a bit weathered off, you can oil it, treat it, gurney it down, bring it back to life. So in a marine environment, it's a magnificent material, provided we can get it from a reasonably local source and we can make sure it is a sustainable form of that timber. And then how we put that together is the next stage that we've been looking at. So we started to play around with radial sawn timber, board and batten detail, as opposed to sort of the heavily refined tongue and grooved or shiplap, something like that. So timber plays an important role for our company. We also believe that it just ties in. So when we put timber beside a stone or timber beside concrete or timber beside some Corten steel, they all harmonise really well. We've had high exposure through Wood Solutions over the years doing that type of work. Looking for case studies is critical. Finding people that have actually done it before and used a certain timber a certain way, or you might want to play around with it and use it a new way and find out if someone's done that before. So the internet plays a massive role for us. Anybody that's coming into the design game, whether they're a graduate architect or a designer that's decided it's time to do their own thing, regional living has a lot to offer. There are definitely some downsides to being in a regional area, and that's the remoteness from Melbourne and access to some of those things that the metro offers. But the plus side is you're within short distance commute to nearly everything you need, and you do get to work on a great variety of projects.